Hi friends, welcome to my channel. My name is Shannon and I am a homeschool mom to a 10-year-old who is going to be starting 5th grade in 2 days. Today, I wanted to show you guys where my planner is as I am preparing for the school year to start in a couple days, and then jump over and show you how Trello is looking as we get ready for the first day of school. Okay, so I've already done a couple of planner videos and I'm hoping to make this like a consistent type of series situation where so far I've kind of walked you through things as I've been filling them out very slowly as we slowly crept up to the beginning of the school year. But now that the school year is upon us, I'm going to show you the last video of the planner that would show you prep before the school year starts, and actually showing you more of what it would look like as I do my weekly planning. So if you've seen any of my videos, I mostly reverse plan in my paper planner and plan in Trello. But there are some things that I do plan in advance in my paper planner. And so I'm going to walk you through all those, and then we'll jump over to Trello and you can see how I do my planning for the week in Trello as well. Okay, so nothing in these beginning pages have changed. I actually am starting to plan out our extracurriculars. And this is what I'm showing you right now is just so you can kind of see what the page looks like. This would be for the second semester. I have what I'm planning on the first semester. I just don't want to share it because personal information. The goals this year, or the plans this year, is she wants to do a guitar for her extracurricular. And then just like a co-op type class that covers multiple different subjects, but really just an opportunity for her to be able to socialize and make connections. And so that's our plans for extracurriculars this year. Nothing has changed in the curriculum planning because it's all planned out. I don't think anything has changed on this page. I maybe have added a couple of things. I did add the first day of school celebration and our expectation dinner to August. Basically just so I can remember to transfer it to the next planner that we do for next year. And I did, okay, this is where the changes have happened because I did end up getting her testing schedule for iReady, so I got that on the calendar. I set up a couple of goals, mainly just having a smooth start to the school year, and really working on consistency in our rhythm and work completion. And I haven't put it on here yet, but I am gonna get this on here as like just kind of a reflection, not a reflection because it hasn't happened, but, and I guess it is a goal, but really not just completing our work, but really giving our work the time and attention that it deserves, like not trying to rush through things. So I think that I'm going to add that as a goal. I was just watching Anchor and Sailor Collective's channel. I'm starting to try to write this down because I honestly suck at crediting people, which I really want to get better at because I love the YouTube community. I mean, it's where I get so much inspiration and it's honestly the hugest help to me. So that's one of my goals is, crediting channels that I see this stuff on. But anyways, I saw on this channel that they do a time capsule every year, and I really love that idea. And I've seen that before, and I think that I've thought I like that idea before, but I don't know, as my daughter gets older, and now I wish I would have done it when she was younger, of course. But as she gets older, it's just like there's more things that I want to, memorialize and cherish. And, it's just, it all happens so fast. So she's 10 now. But in our time capsule would look a little different than the one that I saw on this channel. Her kids seem are a lot younger. I think it was maybe first grade and pre-K. I don't really fully remember, but they were a lot younger. And so I think the way that I'm going to approach the time capsule would be to she used like a Pringle can, and if I have one on hand, I'll use it. I know I have an empty oatmeal can, so maybe I'll use that. I'm not sure. But I think I'm going to have her create something in Canva, like a collage that collects like her favorite songs, her favorite movies, her favorite shows, that sort of thing. She loves working in Canva. It's one of her favorite things to do. So I know it's something she'll enjoy. And then the measure with yarn, and that is something that this channel, they had done, is the measuring the student with the yarn. I like that. And I'm going to think about anything else that we could do to add into that. But so far, this is what I think we're going to start with and make this a new first day of school tradition. Okay. I don't know if I've updated you guys since I've updated my reflection on our spelling word knowledge journey. We have been using forever spelling connections. I have one right here. And we love spelling connections. I honestly, like, we love it, but I do think she just needs a little bit more work with like spelling rules and understanding like the rules a little bit better. English is a tricky language and there's a lot of rules. And so I don't think that this is great at that per se, but I like this curriculum for other reasons. One, I do think it helps her just, with, memorizing words and stuff like that, which that's not like the basis of this, but you're writing them down so many times. Like that's just naturally comes with it. But one of the things that I really like is the apply to content area. And I like the writing area because this also incorporates the editing portion. And then like reading comprehension. Like there's a lot of things tied into this, which is why I really like this curriculum. But again, I really did want something that really focused on breaking the words down and understanding the rules. So we did try something called Mega Words, and that did not work out for us. It was a good program. It just didn't work out for us. And so then I, shopped my shelves, and I had this that I had been holding on to for years. And so I was like, okay, let's try to implement this. And we've been doing this a little bit, and she has really been enjoying these lessons. And I think it's because the way that I have implemented them into our homeschool, which is instead of creating like there are handouts that come with that curriculum, but as we work through the lessons, like it'll say, write these words on the board and all of this stuff. And instead of doing that, I created a Canva whiteboard where we're both linked to it. And so we work together, like collaboratively, like on like live time on this Canva whiteboard. And she really has leaned into that and really been open to that process and enjoyed that process. And so right now we go back and forth between spelling connections and words. And so this is what I've updated in here, that it's been going really well. And I like to just kind of keep track of how things are going, temperature, like where is the curriculum working for us or not. And so that's kind of what I've been collecting on the reflections page. And so that is a small update there. I also updated our theme, which will be back to school this week, and started getting some to-dos on there, which I've been knocking out. Then I noted, I have like this blank space, and this is just kind of where I keep general things that I don't have a section for. And so I've noted our iReady dates, because I want to really see that right away. Like reminder, we have like iReady the first week. And then I have like a little quiz that I want to give her that is from what we have just covered in words. why is milk not spelled with CK, and why is beak not spelled with CK, and see if she kind of remembers what she's been learning regarding the CK rule. Then I note down anything that we're going to be covering in health, and this week it will be working on the healthy diet. I don't have any field trips planned for us for this first week. Then I get into the weekly things, and this is where I capture materials and manipulatives. I want to see at a glance that I'm going to have at the ready. So for Spanish, our flashcards for lesson 1, and for far afield or field afar, now I can't remember, but this is a beautiful feet curriculum. We'll need our Yodo card. And then I get into our book lists. So these are the book lists we'll need for our lessons for this week. Then I get our spelling list down. So at the end of the week, I like to quiz her on spelling words that she's covered throughout the week. And so it varies on how many I quiz her on, but these are the ones that I've picked for this week. So I'll quiz her on it. I'll bubble if she's mastered it. I'll bubble if she needs practice with it. If she needs practice with it, then we keep practicing the word or the rule. Because if she needs practice on multiple words that have the same spelling structure, I know it's more than just maybe that word. Then I have in the green, and I don't know if my camera's picking up the different colored pens because they're kind of slight, but in the green I have our spelling words for Spanish. Now, I'm not going to hold her to the same standard with Spanish spelling as I do with English spelling, but it is something I would like to collect data on and just see what she needs practice with, like, because then I'll implement it, you know, throughout the other lessons and just make sure it's something that we work on. Okay, so then I don't have any vocabulary words picked out yet. For Blackboard work, or technically I have a whiteboard, not a blackboard. I'm going to be doing the word of the day on there, and for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And then because Thursday, Friday, she gets to pick the word of the day. And so we have a specific book for Thursday, and then we have a specific book for Friday, and she gets to pick what the word of the day is for that day. And so Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, I'm getting the words out of here and then writing them on the whiteboard. So we have the word typical for Monday, and then standard as an adjective for Tuesday, and then standard as a noun for Wednesday. Then when we get into the actual week part, this is where I reverse plan. So I can get some stuff on here. As you can see, I do have our ready schedule on here. I don't see, because that's not changing. That's pretty set in stone. Unless something happens, then I can erase it. I use an erasable pen in here. And I do have, like, I know we're going to start with reading our core values, which is something that I have in the beginning of my planner. This is just something that we read every year. It's just a little thing that I saw, and I like what it said. It spoke to me, and I just think it's a good message. It's just every person is important and unique. Every person deserves to be treated kindly. I can learn from everyone. I am part of the earth, and I cherish it and the life upon it. I learn from the world around me by using my senses, feelings, and mind. I can learn from the past to build upon my future. Just a little saying. We start the year off with that every year. And then the only other thing that I've prepped in here is I will color in the box if we don't plan on doing that subject that day. So math we never do on Tuesdays. So I always can color this in. Now, social studies we do on Wednesday, Thursday, and that is both. So history we do Wednesday, Thursday, and then geography we do Wednesday, Thursday. So technically I could color in Friday, but I have learned my lesson to not do that, because if for some reason we have to push something out a day, I like to know that that's not colored in, and in case I need to move something out. So I did color in Monday, Tuesday, because we will not start it early. It just in case it gets pushed back. So science, we won't be doing this week. We alternate our science and our geography. And so that's why this is all colored in. And I kind of even regretted doing that, because I think I'm going to list in here, Field Afar I was going to list as an elective, and nature study I could list as an elective, but either one of them can probably be listed for science in case the elective area gets really full. And so I think next time I will not color science in fully until I fully decide where those, I'm going to list those on my planner, but that's, I mean, not a big deal. So this is as far as I've gotten in regards to being planned and ready for the week. Now I'm going to kind of walk you through where we are on the Trello board as we are planned for the first day of school. Okay, so here's where we are on Trello. I only have a couple things left on my to-do list, but there's stuff that I don't need done before the beginning of school, like mapping out the rest of history, and then building a president's lap book, since we won't actually be studying the presidents until later in the year, when we naturally, come across George Washington and all of that in our history curriculum. So we have some time before we get to that time period. So I got everything done that I needed to for the start of the school year. This is my planning list. This is where I keep notes that I need to check before I actually do my weekly planning. And then you have our weekly schedule. And so this is what most people would actually like be writing in their paper planner, right? Like scheduling out the lessons. So Monday is our first day of school. Then I have our warm-up card, and it has in here what our new morning routine will be, and then our checklist for our morning warm-up, which is to do her checklist, which has things like chores and stuff like that on it, to do her calendar work, and to do the word of the day, which on Monday is on the whiteboard. And what that would mean for her is pulling out her word of the day notebook and writing the word of the day, the part of the speech, and everything that is tied to the word of the day. Her first lesson will be typing. And so we have her typing card here. She clicks on this, she goes to the link, and it logs her in to Keyboarding Without Tears. And she does her lesson. Then we have grammar / writing. The first part of the year is grammar. The second half of the year is writing, and we use EIW. And so she would click into this card, and then she would click on to the link, watch the video for lesson 1, and then she's going to be doing page 1 and 2 in her EIW workbook. Then she does spelling. Then I have the spelling lesson listed out on the card here for her. Then she takes a little break for PE. Currently, she does some sort of activity for 15 to 20 minutes on something called the Next Playground. If you haven't heard of it, it's like a gaming system that is, it's not, oh gosh, what are the things where you have the thing on your face? It's like virtual. It's not that, but it's kind of like that. It's kind of like a Wii. And so there's like sports, but they actually have like fitness programs in there too. And so we also, as the parents, use this for some workouts sometimes if we need to get like a quick one in. and just have it guided and not want to think about it or anything like that, we'll use it as well. So that's what she does for PE. Then she'll do Spanish, then literature, and end the day with math. And so that's what our first day of school will look like. And then I'm going to do a separate video where I show you guys how I set up the first day of school, like celebration, because we do decorations and like first day of school gifts and that sort of thing. We really like to make it like a celebration. And so I'll do a separate video sharing that stuff. So then Tuesday, we have our Tuesday warm up. She has typing, she has grammar. Then we have our first iReady session, and so she has that information in this card. Then she gets a little break after testing before she goes on to spelling, Spanish, literature, and that's how she ends the day. She doesn't do math on Tuesdays. And that is how I do my planning. So instead of the paper planner, I do it in here, and it just makes it easier for me. One, because I load up all of the lessons over here in the subject list, and so I can just drag and drop. But let's say something happens, life happens, then I can just move my cards around. I don't have to scratch anything out. I don't have to erase anything. It's just a lot easier for me to manage this way for pre-planning. Whereas in my paper planner, I then reverse plan and I actually capture what we did and how the week turned out. And if we're killing it, then they will match. But it is very rare that they match, which is why I do it this way. And so, yeah, that is our first week of school planned out. And if you've made it this far, thank you for watching, and I appreciate you. And until the next video, bye.